In this video, we'll discuss creating cross-section sheets. If you'd like to follow along with this video, please open the file creatingcross-section-sheets.dwg located in the training folder as discussed in the Working with this Dataset video. Civil 3D provides tools to automate sheet creation. So as with everything in Civil 3D, you have settings and styles that are important to understand. So when it comes to cross-section sheets, you have something called Group Plot Styles located in the Section View category. This is the most important setting to define the array at which your cross-section views will be created within the file. In the Array tab, you have the by rows or columns definition, which allows you to define the different spacings for the column and rows and how they should be applied. The plot area is used for grid spacing should you require a grid on your cross-section views. There is also a gap setting to define the gap between successive pages. And then of course you have the Display tab, which is used to control what subcomponents will display. Note that any of the print area or sheet borders should be placed on a no plot layer, so when you go to plot them, they will not plot. Of course, you'll have to have a sample line group that is sampling the data sources that you want to plot. You can change these afterwards because of Civil 3D's great dynamic modeling functionality. One of the other settings that you need to be aware of is a setting in the drawing template. Go ahead and open the drawing template that we're going to use to generate our cross-section sheets. I'll go to the Datasets folder. Under Drawings, we have the Learning AutoCAD Civil 3D Infinite Skills.dwt file. And within this file, I have a few layouts, one for plotting plan and profile sheet, and one for plotting cross-sections. The unique setting that tells Civil 3D that this layout can plot cross-section sheets is this section property within the properties of the viewport. I'll select this viewport, go to my Properties palette, and on the bottom, you'll see you can define the viewport type, as this is defined to Section. Let me close out the drawing template as we don't need to have it open when we create our sheets. And let's go ahead and run this tool. First, let's create multiple section views under the Profile and Section Views panel in the Home tab. Define the alignment, the sample line group, and then the section view name and the section view style. Click Next. And in the placement options, make sure you have Production turned on as an option. Then we'll navigate to our DWT file and select the 22x34 exec layout that is defined in that drawing template. Here's the group plot style that needs to be used, and leave the defaults for the other settings. Note to make sure your section display options are set the way you want them. Any data bands that you want to appear, in this case we'll do none. And then we'll create our section views and place them in the drawing. Civil 3D will use the viewport that is in that DWT file, along with the array definition that you've defined the group plot style to create the array of your section views. If you need to change these settings, you can do so, and on the fly they will update. Go to the section view, group plot style, and open up the 22x34, and we'll go to the array. So let's go ahead and change the column setting here to, let's say, 1.5. Click Apply, and you'll notice that if it can adjust them, it will adjust them for you. I'll change this back to 1, as this is the setting that we wanted to have, and then click OK. You can also move your cross-section views. If I wanted to move, let's say, all the views in this sheet here to the right side, I could simply select the views. Remember, do not select the section itself, as that will actually move the section. Just select the section view, and of course, I could use the Move command to simply move these over as I need to. Once you've made your edits and added the sources that you wanted to, you can now select one of the section sheets and go to the Create Section Sheets command. There's not much to this command, as it already has pretty much predefined the DWT file to use to create your sheets. The only thing you need to do is define the actual layout. So I'm going to select the name template, and I'll type in exec- and then insert the next counter. I'll make sure the starting number is set to the number of sheets that I want to start at. So let's say this should start at sheet number 20. Click OK, and there we go. You can now either create a new sheet set file, but in the previous video, we actually generated a plan and profile sheet DST file, and we want to add that to the existing sheet set. I'm going to select Add to Existing and click the Browse button here, and I'll navigate to the Civil 3D Projects, Learning AutoCAD Civil 3D Infinite Skills, Drawings, Sheets folder, and here's my DST file. Where do you want your sheet set file to be defined? But of course, this is already grabbing it from the existing sheet set, so we don't need to worry about that. They get created in the current file, and that is your only option. Unlike the plan and profile sheet generator, you cannot create sheets in a different file. They get created in the current file. Let's click Create Sheets. Civil 3D will save the drawing to complete this process, and you'll notice that it'll open up the DST file with the numbers, and here are the layouts within my file already. So Civil 3D gets you about 90% there with cross sections. You then may need to go in and actually change the way the view is located. As you can see here, the views are pretty well set, but I may need to pan across or move some sections around. To do so, you simply double-click inside the viewport, unlock the viewport, and then pan as you need to. Don't forget, this group plot style is set to a no plot layer, so it will not plot. Also, do not forget you will need to lock your viewport again so that any panning or zooming will not affect the viewport.